Hey everyone, this is Ryan Ecker with Peak Endurance Solutions, and this is part 3 of the 3-part run series. In this video, I'm going to go over 4 advanced run drills. These drills are a little bit different from the beginner and intermediate drills. I think these advanced drills are actually probably less complex than some of the drills that you encountered in the intermediate series, but the beginner and the intermediate drills all have some foundational components to them. And some skills and some things that you need to master before you can really move on and get the most out of these advanced running drills. So most of these advanced running drills have you focus on running with proper form or get you to feel what it's like to run with certain components of proper run form. And then some of them are also very ballistic and explosive, kind of plyometric based movements. And so all these are going to help improve, again, your run form, technique, posture. And then the more explosive ones are going to help you improve your running efficiency over time. So just as a reminder, make sure you have mastered those beginner and intermediate drills that I have in the first 2 videos in this series. And then again, you can do these drills on an easy recovery day when you just want a little bit of movement, but you don't want anything that's too intense, something that's going to help improve your run form and efficiency. You can definitely do these as well as part of a warm-up before a really hard run session where you're going to be doing fast, hard, high-demand intervals, because these will help kind of open up your legs, open up your hips, get the heart rate up, get the muscles that you're going to be using in that demanding run session kind of firing on all cylinders. So you can use it as that, or you can use it at the end of a run session as part of a cool down just to practice running with good form and technique under fatigue and on tired legs. That's an option too. So let's hop into these videos. The first one is actually probably one of the simplest ones that you'll do, but it takes a lot of focus just so that you can feel what's going on here. So one aspect of good running form and technique and posture is running with an ever so slight forward lean coming from the hips, coming from the waist. So I've mentioned that before in the first couple of videos of this series, and this one gets you to feel specifically just that. So all you're doing during this drill is you're leaning forward slowly until you feel like gravity is starting to pull you forward. And that's that sensation you want to really grab onto and identify with, is that feeling of leaning forward enough so that gravity is pulling you forward. So I'll show you what this drill looks like. It's really, really simple. And then as soon as you start to fall forward, you're just going to catch yourself in a jog. You don't have to go into a full sprint yet. That's actually going to be another drill that's later in this video. This one is simply just getting that sensation of falling forward, leaning forward at the waist, again, coming from the waist. So I pause it right here, and I'll take you back slowly. So notice I'm literally just falling forward. If I weren't to catch myself, I'd fall flat on my face. But obviously I go and I catch myself right as gravity starts to pull me down and I feel like I'm going to lose control, then I catch myself into a jog. So that's that sensation you want. It's that feeling of like running downhill. It almost looks like I'm running downhill in this image. And that's that kind of sensation you want when you're running. Not this exaggerated. This is obviously getting you to feel an exaggeration of what that feels like. But when you're running, you want like a little bit of forward lean, almost like this. Right? So then you'll see when I fall into the run, I still have that forward lean coming from the hips. So right about there, that's kind of the amount of forward lean that you want when you're running, is coming from the waist. Again, I'm not hunched over, I'm not bent over at the waist. I'm just shifting my body weight forward so I can take advantage of gravity assisting me while I run. So this, again, is going to be a huge benefit to you because you're going to take advantage of gravity pulling you forward, as opposed to if you were running completely upright or even backwards, which is worst case scenario with your body weight backwards. There's going to be a lot of braking force and then gravity pulling you down and slowing you down, as opposed to using gravity to your advantage and pulling you forward. So this is just a really simple drill. It's just called lean forwards. And then this next one we have is a little bit more of an explosive movement. So it's less focused on run form or technique or posture. It's more focused on just high quality, really explosive movement. So I'll play it so you can see what it looks like. But this one, all you're going to do is take a step into a power skip. So this is called power skips. And the goal here is to, when you go into that skip, drive your knee up as high as you can and try and get up off the ground as high as you can. So it's kind of hard to see. And I'm not incredibly explosive, so I don't necessarily get a ton of air when I jump. There are some people who can get a lot higher than me, obviously. But this is one of those exercises over time that's going to make you more efficient as a runner, because you're basically going to be improving your body's spring-like ability. And every time you take a step and you push off the ground when you're running, you're taking advantage of this process, this spring-like process. Your muscles kind of function like rubber bands in this type of exercise and when you're running. And you're taking advantage of like a really quick stretch followed by the storage of elastic energy and then the release of that elastic energy when your foot hits the ground. So you'll see it right here. When my left foot goes to hit the ground, there's a quick stretch right here. And then after that muscle is stretched, it stores up elastic energy and then it releases that elastic energy and has kind of like a recoil or a rubber band-like effect that allows you to get up off the ground. So you're basically improving that system or that process, that mechanical process in your body with these drills, and you're becoming more efficient at that. And that's going to thereby improve your running efficiency and allow you to run faster for longer with less energy. So this is a really great drill, and this one's just power skips. But again, this one's all about being as explosive as you can. So as soon as your foot hits the ground, you're driving up off the ground as high as you can. Okay, so this one's power skips. This next one is similar, so it's another very explosive movement. It's called forward bounds. So rather than running necessarily, you're trying to like leap forward every time you hit the ground. So I'm going to play it so you can see what it looks like. But I'm trying to bound forward or leap forward as far as I can. So it's a running motion, but it's bounding. It's like leaping or skipping as opposed to just a straight run. So rather than I start off by going into a run, and then as I get a little bit of speed, I'm pushing off from the ground and trying to get as far as I can going forward. And again, I'm always maintaining good run technique and posture cues throughout. So I have a slight forward lean, as you can see right here. I'm leaning forward, head's nice and neutral. I have a good arm swing around the shoulder. My foot is landing underneath my center of gravity, underneath my center of mass when I land. So right there I land, and that's right underneath my center of mass, center of gravity. And then I'm just explosively pushing off the ground and trying to bound my way forward. So this is another one that complements the power skips and some of those intermediate drills really nicely because it's really explosive and powerful. Again, improving your running efficiency over time. And then this last one pieces together the lean forwards and kind of the bounding to some extent, but this one's going to be less of a bound and this is more of just a straight run motion. So this is one where you kind of put it all together. This is one where you want to imagine that you're running with absolutely perfect running form. And you're just ingraining in your mind and in your body what perfect running form feels like. And so with this one's called a stride. So you're basically going to start by leaning forward, doing that lean forward drill, and you're going to fall into a run where you're building up to just shy of top speed. So with this one, you don't necessarily want to build up to like max effort sprint. It's more like 90-95%, so it should be pretty close to a sprint. And I'll go ahead and play it so you can see what it looks like. So I start with that lean forward, start into a jog, and then I'm slowly picking up my pace, and I'm practicing good running form. So again, leaning forward at the waist. So right here, I start to pick up my speed. So leaning forward, and I'm a little bit more lean forward than I would when I'm in a normal run because I'm just starting to take off here. So maybe let's try and find a different frame. This one's not terrible. So right here, you'll see lean forward at the waist, neutral head position. I have a good arm carry that I'm practicing, not crossing over the midline of my body. And then when my foot's landing underneath my center of gravity, I'm immediately pulling that heel up towards my butt, kicking my butt there. And I'm just replicating and getting that feeling of what perfect run form is. So you're kind of piecing together all the things that you have worked on in drills in the beginner, intermediate, and then some of these prior advanced running drills. And this one's a little bit of an explosive movement too, so it's going to help improve your running efficiency. But this one's more just to piece together all those technical aspects that you worked on in prior drills so you can get that feeling of perfect running form, and you're ingraining that in your body over time so that hopefully that carries over into your normal running gait when you're just going out for your normal everyday run, whether it's an easy run or a hard run. And so those are the advanced drills that I wanted to cover in this video. There's only 4 of them. Again, make sure that you've mastered the beginner and the intermediate drills before you move on to the advanced drills. And then over time, these are all going to help improve your running form, technique, posture, and then your running efficiency as well. So these are all really great drills, again, to do on easy recovery days, before workouts or after workouts. You can go back and forth once you feel like you've mastered all the beginner and the intermediate drills. It doesn't necessarily mean that you just do the advanced drills. I would still incorporate some of the beginner, intermediate, and advanced drills throughout the week. Try and do some of these running drills at least once a week, and that'll hopefully be enough over time, if you're doing them at the very least once a week, to see some of these improvements translate over into your running. And some of these things aren't necessarily improvements that you're going to like notice all of a sudden, like, oh wow, I feel so much more efficient. These are more imperceptible type things that are just going to contribute like 2, 3, 4% improvements to your run. Whether you're just a standalone runner or if you're a triathlete, these things will start to add up over time, but they're not necessarily things that you're going to like feel massively. But nonetheless, there's still going to be some benefits for you. So hopefully you got something from this video and also this series as a whole. Hopefully these drills prove to be useful in your training and racing. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at peakenduranceSolutions@outlook.com, or you can go to www.peakenduranceSolutions.com and you can shoot me a message. Again, thanks for watching, and hopefully you found all this useful.